Alright, ladies and gentlemen, so we are back once again with another protagonist swap video. Now, just to clarify, we will be going today through Bayonetta in God of War 1 specifically, not God of War 2014, 2016? Was it 2016? 2018?
2018, God of War
God
4,
of War
same
4.
thing.
Yes. So there was quite a bit of confusion. Not so much confusion, but there were some complaints regarding God of War and how we scaled it. So there was also some confusion between me and Mangler on how we were talking about the situation. We cleared that all up. I'll explain very briefly. If you're curious about the God of War scaling and situations on that one specifically as to what would change regarding protagonist swaps and such, we explain more of the in detail of what we do to make these more viable in a longer video, which will be linked down below. But for the purposes of this one, with Bayonetta going through God of War, the situation is going to be we're putting Bayonetta in Kratos' shoes, which means wherever Kratos scales, Bayonetta scales. Wherever Kratos goes, for the most part, Bayonetta goes, and the same objectives apply. I don't really think we have to do anything specifically to make this scenario fair for Bayonetta. Mangler? Mangler, is there anything we have to...
Not particularly, though.
Okay.
Obviously, as the protagonist swap does include a little bit of like story character elements. Characters will be allowed to take slightly different routes, just like Kratos did when he was in DMC. If something if an opportunity presents itself that would be consistent with their character. So, example being Kratos has no reason to ride a fucking motorcycle because, like, it
Yes.
literally wouldn't be interested in doing that. There'd be no reason for him to go and do that.
Also, any items that are acquired in the story can technically be fair game for the character in the protagonist swap.
It just
And,
depends on if they like care or want to get them. Really,
and I don't think, and Bayonetta will just be having her starting default gear because I don't think she has any other starting weapons or anything in the games, right? She just starts with the four pistols and that's it, depending on. Well, she doesn't even start with blue row or what's the fourth? What's the
we
four?
were using Bayonetta 2
Yes.
initially,
So
so
we're using what the hell are the four pistols called?
Love is Blue.
Love is
I
blue.
was assuming we were using your full kit. Do you not want to use your full kit?
Do you want to use your full kit? Because I mean I'm gonna be honest, I
I
really
think
don't
our
think it's
weapons
necessary.
I think our
Well,
weapons are more interesting, but if we're not using that, then I guess she just gets the weapons from Bayo 2 and the beginning of 2. Or she just gets the weapons from Bayo 1 and the beginning of 2, right?
so do you want? Well, it's like so. Thing is like because with Kratos we gave him the Blades of Chaos, we did give him the full God of War 3 package, but that's more so because he kind of needed it. So do we just give her the full kit of Bale 2 then, or whatever weapons she would be able to access
I
to?
think we should be giving them the full kit regardless.
All right, fine. We'll get the full kit regardless. I don't think we should include the ankle bracelets or anything. I feel like that'd be a little silly, because she can only hold two
But,
anyways.
I mean, she'd only be able to swap between two at one time, so it's fine.
All right.
I mean, if you want me to like read them off, I'll read off
You,
what
you
they
don't
do.
you don't have to read them off, but if you feel like one of those is gonna be relevant, you can just bring it up then, I guess. All right. So then full kit Bayonetta 2. So I guess Bayonetta gets taken right after failing to save her father in Bayonetta 2 and just ends up in God of War. She's already gone
Um,
through one game or
She's
two.
Olympus, God of War
Ass-
Ascension. So, it's been quite the journey for her as she has been stumbling into this strange land that very, very easily resembles Greek mythology.
Yes.
Um,
And after falling off a cliff, she has now ended up on a boat in the Archean
well,
Sea.
no, the cliff thing happens at the end. That's a retrospective scene. So
Wait, is
she'd just
it?
be like teleported to the Aegean Sea.
She is now on a boat in the Archean Sea.
So I'm gonna be honest. The only enemies that can really pose a threat to her here, if we're putting her in Kratos' position, is the Hydra. But I don't think the Hydra is gonna be able to handle her kit. Um, Hydra has the Hydra has no like feats outside of dying to Kratos. And
Um,
like, well, okay, the novel gives it like some poisonous stuff, but like Bayonetta will be able to observe and see that from a distance. Plus, she'll know not to get bitten by it because it's a giant fucking monster. It's not really like
So then there's
I don't think anyone would be stupid enough to just let themselves get attacked by it, and it's not like exceptionally fast or anything by God of War standards.
there's also the problem that like it gets killed by just stabbing its head, right? It's not even like a
Yeah.
Hydra in Legend where like you chop it off and it gets two more.
It's not everything that it was hyped up to be. Well, it does have many heads. The problem is that she has ways where she can just kill it. So if she has her, even if she has the beginning like a Bayo 2 kit, she still gets her weapons from like one. So she'd still have access to bazillions. She'd still have access to I believe Chernobog is in one if I'm not mistaken.
I mean, she doesn't even need that though. Like, she could literally just like use the fucking. I think I don't know what the katana is called specifically. The is it called like the
Chiraba.
what?
Chiraba.
She could literally just use Chiraba and stab them in the head. Like these things go down by being stabbed with some wooden fucking planks.
Yes.
Like worst case scenario, she summons a demon and it just bites its head off. I'm pretty sure
Oh no,
that still works.
Chernobog's in two. So she gets Pilotok, Radon, Siphon.
Well, there's also the fact that there's not really a fight here because if she can just summon her demon right away, the demon could literally just end the fight.
She also has the Odolet skates, so she can literally skate around the water, just like zoning it to death.
This is
So I was also gonna say like she doesn't technically have to play by the level design at all. So like we'll just assume like when she shows up, like I don't know, the people want her to like help them save them from the Hydra. Um, and she's just like, okay, whatever. I'll just so take it out, and then she basically can skip the entire level because she can either jump, fly. She can use Odolet to skate on top of the waves. Uh, yeah, she has like,
there's like nothing really here. Like there are so many options for her to kill the Hydra, mainly because the Hydra sucks.
and she also just has a lot of things.
Okay, continue. For some reason, my recording just randomly stopped. Just continue from where you left off. I'll connect them afterwards.
So I mentioned this when we were talking about her in amidst the events of Ascension, but she has a lot of abilities that just allow her to break the level design of the God of War games because she can launch herself like extremely fast speeds across large distances. She could just fly. She could purgatory snipe people. She could jump to purgatory in general. So she does not have to worry about the inconveniences of any of these things. So, continuing on past the Aegean Sea. Hang on one sec. I believe we have Athens. So at the gates of Athena, the conjures in the courtyard, the road to Athens, the Athens town square, rooftop Athens, temple of the Oracle, and the
So
Athens sewer.
just to be clear as well, in case someone like kind of asks why we're kind of going through and not discussing the minute details of the levels the same way we do a DMC. We mentioned this already with the other Bayonetta videos, but Bayonetta has so much mobility and so much agility and just options to cross through that she could skip most of God of War's level designs in general, and most of the basic enemies aren't gonna really do anything.
Also, just do bats within and just fly through the level, and none of the enemies would attack her because they wouldn't know they need to.
Yeah.
They would like maybe only the harpies might attack her because they might perceive her as food, but like most of the enemies in the actual town are usually satyrs, mentars, undead soldiers. Well, not satyrs, minotaurs, undead legionnaires, and various like forms of the undead legionnaires and archers. So, and like the occasional wraiths. So she's not gonna like they're not gonna trail after some like fucking owl or bat like flying through the city. They're not gonna assume something's off about that. Maybe they will, but like it's not like they'd be able to catch her anyway. And she has no reason to fight and kill every single enemy. So she'll probably after killing a few of them here and there, she'll probably just like skip a couple because she'll be like, yeah, this is fucking tedious.
Sorry about that. I heard it yell. I had to go check it out real quickly. I'm assuming. Well, did you get to the Medusa fight yet or no?
No. I was gonna say also for anyone who's curious how the wraiths would do against her because they're made of smoke. She has multiple different versions of like NPI, and improved versions of soul manipulation, so she'll be able to fuck up the wraiths something fierce. They're not gonna.
Nothing really is gonna like cause problems here.
Yeah, Medusa.
Does
Oh yeah, I
she?
was gonna mention that she. I guess she could get the spells from the gods or the magic from the gods, but like
Do they really do? I mean, as far as I know, besides was it the Wrath of Poseidon, they're not all that useful.
well, like I'm trying to remember. So in this scenario, if she spawns into the God of War verse, Athena's gonna be like, "Where the hell did Kratos?"
I think it's
Gonna be
like,
like, man, I've been planning this. So in the novel, she's planning this plot to take down Ares, and she's like, man, as long as I use my champion, and then basically convince the rest of the gods to hear my claim. So like, I guess amidst her scheming, her champion gets BFR'd out of the fucking verse, and just this tall, like Amazon looking woman spawns in with hair covering her entire body, and he's like, well, still a champion nonetheless, I guess.
it's like not exactly what I was hoping for, but we'll see. We can make this work.
Whatever.
Yeah, because I see. So yeah, we get through the first section, no diff. I see we fight the Gorgon in a room where there is a barrier. I think
Mm-hmm.
I forgot which god forces you to fight Medusa. Is this Athena? Because each god
No,
fucking has like a fucking.
Aphrodite.
It's Aphrodite.
Yeah. Um, I would say for Aphrodite, she'll, I mean, she'll probably just itemize them or whatever and speed blitz them. She's not gonna look into their eyes or hit them because
Well,
she's Bayonetta's gonna figure out pretty easily that she's in some area that's very clearly inspired, either either exists as like Greek mythology come to life or otherwise, because she's gonna realize like, wow, every fucking enemy.
well, keep in mind that like we're technically giving her Kratos' stats since we're putting her in Kratos' position.
Oh yeah, she does get
So
criticism. I would just argue that she would dodge it, but yeah, if she get the petrification, then like the sirens or not the sirens, fucking Medusa and the Gorgon's powers are not going to work very effectively against her.
all right, so then hang on. Does she have any petrification resistance in her actual game, or is this something we're just going to give her as part of the protagonist swap situation?
Well, if we're giving her protagonist swap packages require resistances of the
Well,
character in that given situation. That's why we're
the reason we said at the beginning that that might not happen because as far as I knew, there wasn't really anything specifically that Bayonetta was going to have trouble with. Like I mean, like theoretically, the Gorgons just have to look at you in this verse, right? Like you don't have to look in their eyes; they look at you.
um no. So what the novel clarifies is that you do have to like look at them directly.
Okay,
Um
then like we can just say that Bayonetta would recognize, but probably immediately what a Gorgon is, and probably just bats within or some bullshit.
Their power also works identical to Gorgons in Greek mythology. There's no meaningful difference.
Oh,
So
all right. If that's what the novel says, then I mean, like, okay, so either we just give her the resistances that Kratos has, which just I think this might be. I'm pretty sure this is the only one that matters. Real talk, but
you can or can't. It doesn't really.
it really shouldn't make much of a difference because
I'm
worst
saying
case
for
scenario.
format purposes, she should because that's proper procedure.
All right, fine. Then if she didn't have that, I guess she gets turned to stone.
No, no, she doesn't. Because she'll just dodge. She'll literally just dodge and speed blitz it to death.
All
And
right.
she'll realize, oh wow, they turned things to stone.
Lies. Are you saying she's gonna
Um,
witch time out of the glare?
oh yeah, I forgot about witch time. I
Were you
forgot about
body?
purgatory smoke.
How
I
do you?
forgot about all of these other really broken win conditions she
I
has.
was gonna say if we just had the purgatory features, then like at that point we can just literally just say she just runs through most of this. Do we just count purgatory as like a layer above the Greek world and just say she just runs through most of this
Well,
shit?
so the way purgatory works in the context of the Umbran witches and the Lumen sages is that they are trained. They're specifically trained to jump into purgatory anytime they perceive something that could cause damage to the human world. And she is gonna figure out like this isn't like her world. It's still a world with humans in it, one which again like shouldn't be suffering damages as a result of her battles. So as per her training, she's gonna jump into purgatory. That's the first thing she's going to do.
Okay,
So
so then we just
yeah,
like she just avoids all this problem entirely then because she doesn't even need the resistances. She's in purgatory and the Gorgon's not even gonna know it's there.
you really only like maybe the gods are gonna know where she is. Um,
So what? So in purgatory, let's assume she can go through the door since the does the god barrier still work there and she just kills the Gorgon and move on? Or are we gonna just say it like that?
yeah, the Gorgon just won't be able to see her.
All right.
So the Gorgon's gonna get purgatory sniped without even knowing what the hell's
All
going
right.
on.
So Gorgon gets cheese because Bayonetta exists. Bayonetta gets the Gorgon eye according to the or
Organizer.
uh,
No.
those
Those
are
are
magic
the
increase
Gorgon
items, right?
eyes. The Gorgon eyes and Phoenix Spiders are equipable things for your health and magic. That's not relevant. She's gonna get through Athens. She's gonna arrive in the Desert of Lost Souls, and then the next thing she has to deal with are the sirens. Um, trying to
So
remember.
I believe you pointed this out. According to a novel, and I think this is all. I'm not sure if this is shown in the game, but Kratos does not resist the siren, right?
No, he does not. He is actually explicitly under the effects of the sirens singing.
Is that also in the game as well, or is that just in the novel?
So the game doesn't actually give them the hypnotism, but what it does show is that they can scream loud enough to cause you like migraines, and like they can even.
Oh, are you telling me they're an enemy I beat with an aspirin?
Also, like Kratos doesn't really like explicitly resist
Okay.
their silent
So
shrieks either. 'Cause when they shriek, so they don't kill him as a result of it. So if you argue that they're able to kill you, then yeah, it'd be a resistance on account of it's not doing its intended effect, but it can still affect him with
it,
like large amounts of
if
sound manipulation.
if
But
I
they don't have actual
recall,
perception manipulation.
in Purgatorio, sound still occurs, right?
Yes,
So that means the
He's-
siren song should still affect Bayonetta even in Purgatory.
yeah, but it's gonna sound a little different though,
Does it?
so it might not be fully effective.
Okay, but so like we'll just assume that even in Purgatory should be affected by it. Maybe she can resist it better because it's technically muffled.
Well, so it's not gonna matter because she's gonna drift off to her position, and then she'll be like, "Oh, like," because so she'll hear it, but she'll be in purgatory.
So even if she shows up,
So
well, I mean, like to be fair, I believe the sirens like woo people in. So if she falls victim to it, she would just leave Purgatory
I
because
mean,
she'd want to
I
be with the
guess.
siren. Unless the God of War sirens are different from the standard Greek ones, but
No, they're identical. The gameplay just doesn't give them access to like perception mechanics, but that's a lack of interpretations. That's not like a
okay,
that's
so
not the game confirming they don't have it. It's just like it's just not included.
okay, so then yeah, so Bayonetta hears it. Sound should occur in purgatory or whatever. So is this where we're gonna like give up Bayonetta's first life, or are we gonna assume she can just
Um,
resist it all the way through the
I
death?
mean,
Well,
the
how's Kratos resist it?
Sirens aren't going to be able to kill her.
Well, okay,
With
so
like,
she walks out. She's in their trance. As far as I know, Bayonetta has no mental breaking like feats or anything like that, or like stuff of that nature.
well, it's mainly perception manipulation.
Well,
You see
don't no,
it.
don't the sirens hypnotize you? Like, isn't that what they do?
Yeah, that'd be perception manipulation.
Well, I no, they
So,
just hypnotize you. They turn you against your will. They like.
well, there. So
What
what
does the
you
novel
see?
specifically say that the
So
sirens do?
he interprets Kratos interprets the sirens as like beautiful women
Okay.
that are
Eh,
basically called like what he sees them as is something completely different than what they
No,
are.
no, I understand that, but what does that do to Kratos? Because I'm pretty sure sirens like directly affect your will and shit with their song.
Oh, he feels like very I guess lustful. He feels very inclined to give them physical contact.
Okay, so he wants to fuck them. You can just say he wants to fuck them. We're past the first 5 minutes.
Yes, he very much is in favor of
I would like to point out
mating,
this
not
is this is
dating.
a father figure. This is a man who is a parent, or I guess was in this case.
Yes.
Okay, so then yeah, so then the sirens kill Bayonetta then if she hears them. Or actually,
Well, like, I don't
how
think
does Kratos resist them directly? Like, does he just resist their effects, or does he like block his
he has
ears?
a psychological nightmare that breaks his mental state.
Wait! A fucking PTSD event fucking saves him.
Yes, I told you this. So
I
he has
I
a nightmare because so what happens is that he ends up perceiving he basically ends up perceiving the sirens as something like beautiful, and then it reminds him of his wife, and then because he gets reminded of his wife, he has a nightmare in relation to his wife, and his mental state breaks down. And
oh,
then
that's
as a result
fucked.
of this, he then realizes the siren's a monster, and then he throws the Zeus's thunderbolt, and then it ends up deafening him,
Yeah,
which
okay,
cancels out
see,
the
that's the
effect.
part I remember. I remember him directly fucking with his ears to prevent the
Yes,
siren call.
he's only able to do that because he has a nightmare.
I'm gonna say I think we should count this as her first death because if she's not gonna resist the sirens, they should be able to kill her.
It's gonna take a really long fucking time.
I mean, we're not really here to confirm how it could take
This,
fucking 300 years and I'd still count it.
I mean, I'm trying
well,
to
here's
remember if
here's the
if
question.
Well,
what
well,
I
what? A third member in the
when did
protagonist swap? What? When did this happen?
did someone just join the recording?
Well, no, we're in
Weird.
general. I was actually gonna tell you to change that earlier.
Okay, fine. Why don't
All
we?
right, go ahead, Kyle. Ask your question, Mister Legendary. What? The,
wouldn't her gun?
hang on. Let him ask his question since he already asked it. It's gonna sound weird. I'm not gonna edit it out. Okay, you, Kyle. Ask. What the fuck? Okay, you, Kyle. Ask your question. Then we'll continue since you already asked it. It's gonna be weird to edit it out. Ask.
So wouldn't the guns act like the thunderbolt because they're quite loud and quite close to the ear?
No. Kratos is directly using it to deaf. Or actually, wait, Manglers. The novels say it always deafens him when he uses the lightning bolt.
It does partially deafen him, yes.
Every time he uses it, yeah, no, we can't count that. That's not fair. No, the guns don't count. You know what? I guess. Thank you for asking that because maybe if someone sees the comments, they're gonna be like, "Guns are loud." Wouldn't guns do the same thing? Because in real life, you need to use ear plugs to protect your ears from a gunshot. I mean, I guess it's not the worst question.
I mean, we might be able to use her.
Well, no, because like Kratos only does this as a result of already having a PTSD strike beforehand. Like, so he gets broken out of his mental state.
Oh, wait. Hang on a sec.
All
Hang
right,
on a sec, though.
all right. Hanging on,
Hold up.
hanging on.
She goes to the before she goes to the Desert of Lost Souls.
Yes.
I forget that she has to meet with the Oracle first.
Does
He tells her that yes.
the Oracle does warn her about sirens?
Does warn her about going to kill the sirens, basically, before she goes to Pandora's Temple. So, if she's given prior intel, I'm trying to think of what she could do that would lure.
Well, she doesn't
That
have
would
to.
stop.
She doesn't have to lure the sirens because in Purgatorio she wouldn't be affected by like the sandstorm or anything, or at least it probably wouldn't affect her. We literally just have to argue: is Bayonetta the kind of person who would actually prep for a fight?
Well, so all she'd have to do is plug her ears.
Well, no, I understand that, but like, is that in character? Does that seem
Um,
like something she would actually do, or would she just take her chances and go in?
Trying to think, because there are some fights where she chooses to do things differently, or chooses to do something specifically because someone asks her to.
Because she seems a little overly confident. So I would
She,
just argue she'd
yeah, but
go
this is
in.
Bayo 2 Bayo. This is Bayo 1 Bayo.
I mean, that's fair, but like, I feel like she would probably just go in and just take her chances because she's so much better than everything she's fought up until now. I don't think she'd take the siren threat seriously.
I mean, what about the. Apparently they have telepathy, so she might be able to interpret it as a different message than, like, your normal, like, mental interaction. I don't know if that would allow her to fight it, but.
I'm gonna say this. I don't think it's in character for her to like directly prep for an encounter unless my knowledge of Bayonetta is like gaming is off a little bit. I don't recall her ever prepping for any fight whatsoever, even fights where she probably should have, like Lopter and Azir. Uh, so I'm just gonna go ahead and say I don't think it's fair to say she wouldn't fall victim. If you think it's fair that she preps, I guess we can just assume that she doesn't die here, kills the sirens, and moves on because she should have no problem killing them directly. It's really just whether or not the siren call affects her.
So do we have a kill time on the siren?
We do not. I don't know. Well, we don't even need a kill time because as again, so we have no evidence that she can break out of it. As
Oh
far
no,
as
no, I know. I'm just wondering, like, how long would this take?
it can she could literally take 10,000 years to die and it would still
So
count.
wait. So the reason why it matters is that depending on how long this takes, maybe the gods might intervene because Athens is currently getting burned to a crisp.
You know what?
Um,
They're going
and
to
as you
assume
know,
there's.
the plot kind of demands that they need to be saved.
Uh, listen. Well, okay. So, how do the sirens kill you directly? Do they like devour? Do they just devour
They
your
just
flesh?
bite
Or
you. They just bite your shoulder.
okay, well, can they bite Kratos' shoulder? Because we're giving her Kratos' stats. Can they hurt
Yes.
Kratos? All right, then they can kill Bayonetta relatively. You know what? I guess Bayonetta takes a short track to Hades, Mangler. You got your wish.
So I guess we'll use the one life here then.
Okay, so she has 2 lives left. In the comments, if you want to dispute it, I think it's fair. If not, I
So
mean, it's not too big of a deal.
So as a result of biting Bayonetta, the blossoms that basically cover her body come out, causing an inadvertent choking hazard for the sirens, thus giving Bayonetta enough time to itemize the other ones.
Okay, so she chokes the sirens to death with flowers, blood flowers, to be fair, but
Oh,
flowers.
the first one dies to the flowers. The other ones get itemized.
All right, so she beats the sirens, and then we move on to I think the journey into Pandora's temple at this point.
Yep. She just has to climb it, which instead of taking 3 days, it'll take her 5 minutes.
I'll say like what,
probably.
like 2 minutes, 3 minutes. I mean, how long did it take for her to climb the Fimble, like Fimbulheiden or whatever?
It took her less than a day, and that was with like all the obstacles.
She's still gonna make it faster than Kratos.
Yeah, he took 3 days to climb that.
To be fair, there was a really
Have to
strong,
go to the
there was a very powerful Scorpion waiting for him. He didn't stand a chance in this position.
So all she really has to deal with are some wraiths and various puzzles. So
Can those puzzles be skipped, or does she have to actually? I mean, she can probably do the puzzles. I've seen God of War puzzles. They're not like.
she can skip portions of them.
I don't
There's
really
also
think there's gonna be problems here.
Gorgons, but she'll know how to fight them at this point.
Okay, yeah, no. So she's fine. She clears through there. She's a smart girl. I doubt any God of War puzzles really gonna give her too
She
big of a trouble.
also gets access to. She's also gotten access at this point to the Thunderbolts. This is Thunderbolt and the Blade of Artemis.
Damn! If only she had that earlier, she might have not died.
She wouldn't even know to use it, but now she knows. Now she knows she needs to cover her ears when she fights the sirens.
And knowing is half the battle.
Shut up.
Okay, so yeah, so she makes it through the temple's first gates pretty easily. First area, no diff.
She needs to fight the various Cerberus breeders, but they're not like
That
anything
sounds
impressive.
a little not safe for work.
They're literally just Cerberuses.
That breed.
Well, not in the way that you think.
Are you? My anatomy must be off then because I'm pretty sure I know what breeding means.
And then she has various challenges of Hades.
Yeah, she
which
has
again,
the challenge of Atlas, which
Again, all these are just like various puzzles. They're not like
so
anything.
there's nothing really crazy. So just to clarify, she know when to get a hold of items and stuff. Like, I don't really think there's anything here really that's really going to cause too many issues.
She does have to fight Pandora's Guardian, but it's just an armored Minotaur.
Why do you say it like that? Maybe it
Because
has feelings.
that's literally what it is.
Damn. Okay, so does it have any special abilities?
It slams the ground and causes shock waves, and that's it.
Okay, so I just want to clarify. We literally skipped through like 7 missions, and again, just to clarify, this is mainly because most of the shit that Kratos has to deal with, Bayonetta can just handle much faster and much easier. She has actual mobility, actual.
Loses to things that Kratos wouldn't lose to.
Well, to be fair, PTSD is apparently a very powerful counter to, I guess, mind manipulation.
Yeah. Then after killing him, she gets access to the
Architect's
Army of
tomb.
Hades.
Does that really do anything worth talking about?
It shoots out a bunch of souls.
I think I'd have to reiterate my question. Does that really do anything worth talking about? I mean, she could just.
Moving on.
Listen, as fucked as this sounds, there's not really anything that she gets from the gods that she would need or probably even pick over her weapons. Like, the shotguns alone she gets in Bayonetta 2 have curses, or is that Bayonetta 1?
No, that's Bayonetta 1. When she gets access to it.
Yeah, no, like, she can literally just fire curses at you with a shotgun. She has so many better options. She has the scythe that, like, drains your soul and shit. Like, there are so many better options here. I feel bad saying this, but most of the shit you get in God of War 1 is gonna pale in comparison to her arsenal.
I think she can, after this point, when she gets to the Architect's tomb, she can start scaling up the mountain to skip portions of the level until she gets to the final puzzle rooms. And then after that, she'll unlock Pandora's temple area.
Alright.
Get the box.
Alright, so there's nothing really here that's going to cause problems because we have a character who can basically just fucking fly.
Alright, so now we have, I guess, a scene where...
We have the legendary scene where Ares senses Kratos getting Pandora's box. Which, to be clear, we're gonna say Athena just asked Bayonetta to get it for her in exchange. She'll be sent home or something. Just a white lie like that. The way Athena does.
Yeah.
And then Ares is like, all right, I'm just gonna throw this giant. I think he throws a mountain, or does he just throw a pillar?
He takes a pillar of some like building and then chucks it like a javelin.
So this was something we discussed before the video as to whether or not Bayonetta gets hit by the javelin itself.
So
you want to?
It should be fast enough, but the problem is that she'd be in Purgatorio. So like, he'd sense Pandora's box is moving, but he wouldn't be able to tell what's moving it.
Well, I mean, we're assuming the gods can see in the Purgatorio, right? Or like, if they become aware of it, they'd be able to see her. Like, if they
become aware that she's in Purgatorio, they'll probably try to create traps or things for her when she gets out, or they'll stay near positions of interest where they know she has to leave.
I feel like at this point, we'll say she gets out of Purgatorio right as the box to like move it because, well, I mean, she can't move stuff outside Purgatorio, but.
Yeah.
Actually, now that I think about it, Kratos never moves the box, right? Like Ares just takes the box.
No. He starts moving the box. Like, he starts moving. He's physically in the process of making it back. And funny enough, technically, Athena in the novel, she's actually about to teleport him to Atlas, or to Athens. And then Zeus, like a fucking asshole, is like, nope. It's like, wait, but I can teleport him. Like, no.
Wait, are you fucking telling me?
Yes. Yes. So they're literally in the process of like getting there, and she's like, "Oh, perfect, he got it. All right, I'll teleport it back, and we'll be good." And Zeus is like, "No."
What do you mean? No, my city's burning to the ground.
No, I'm pretty sure that's exactly what she said. She's like, "Father, why?"
He's like, just keep watching. I want to see if Ares can beat my record. Okay, so then we say she gets out of it, Ares throws the pillar, and we'll say she's out of it when it happens just to avoid complications with the story. Especially since apparently Zeus showed up and was like, no, you can't just teleport her there. Because Bayonetta flying to...
That's a scripted death.
Well, what I was gonna
Like-
say is like, do we just argue that Bats Within just saves her? Because like the second the pillar hits her, Bats Within's just gonna happen, right?
Oh yeah, no, she could literally just bats within
Yeah.
the moment, or she could witch time.
Like there are so many, unlike Kratos, who doesn't get any real defensive options until I think like what fucking God of War 2.
Yeah.
Bayonetta has the ability to dodge. She's become a Dark Souls player, and she has dodged.
She's got like her own really silly. She has like a trickster style. If the trickster style actually had good hacks.
You want to fight me? You want to get within fighting range of them words?
I know.
It's
Hey,
it's
I'll say
4th of
Dante
July.
has amazing
it's time
hacks.
to free you
It's
from
just-
this bullshit.
It's just trickster isn't generally one of them. Now we have a character that has hacks as if they were a trickster style. You're basically never gonna hit Bayo if she knows you're coming.
So I think the best case scenario is we just say she creates a portal to throw Pandora in, and then Bayonetta, like let's say Bayonetta sounds Madama Butterfly, has Madama Butterfly grab Pandora, just takes it back to wherever Madama hangs out, and then fucking Bayonetta just makes her way back to Athens, and I don't know, like.
Well, she can open dimensional portals when she does her Wicked Weaves, but she can also open portals to Purgatorio as well. She can throw her items through Purgatorio.
Yeah.
And she can also throw herself through other dimensional portals in and outside of Purgatorio.
Okay, so we just say she gives it to one of her demons to hold on to, so that way she can just summon it back at Athens, because that's where Athena tells her to go, and then Bayonetta just walks
Flies.
back, like flies,
Just
walks.
runs back there.
I mean, it's not going to take her very long. You know, maybe she summons an Irenic and just like let's go.
Skip the entire underworld section because obviously that's not there. And Hades is gonna be.
Hades is actually going to be chill about the situation because he's like, all right, let's work.
It's gonna be like, whatever. Kind of nice not having people escape my
Unescapable realm.
my for like the 5th time. Zeus may or may not be like upset about. Well, actually, no, he probably won't care because like, well, I didn't rep this person. I don't really care. All's well that ends well. Continuing on, we return to Athens. She'll just make it to the Temple of the Oracle, and she fights through a couple rooms of enemies, and then she just fights Ares. It's at the end of the game.
Yes.
And she's just told like, hey, you need to open this box to beat Ares, and she'll open the box because they'll say like what Athena will tell her is that if you want to go home, I'll need you to open this box, and then you'll defeat Ares, and then your task will be done. Because Athena fucking lies like that. It's not like she hasn't been doing anything but manipulating everyone the entire game,
Nonsense.
just like she did all the other gods.
So then Bayonetta just opens the fucking chest and gets the power of hope.
Yeah, and then fights Ares directly in the below the suicide bluffs in the arena of remembrance. So I'm gonna be honest. There is nothing Ares can possibly do to her.
Time to rep God of War. Let's go.
So the problem is that in the original fight, when he was fighting Kratos was kicking his ass. Like, let's be clear here. The only chance he had during that fight was BFRing him into that dimension, which that attack didn't even like all of his his PTSD attacks on Kratos didn't work very effectively because he thought it'd be instead of actually affecting his mental state, he thought it'd be more effective to summon like his family and have doppelgangers go and kill them, and then Kratos just killed those doppelgangers anyway. So that's not really going to work on Bayo here because she has things like Purgatorio. So she'll probably just jump into Purgatory at the beginning of the fight and just start wailing on him. She has generally better hacks.
Ares has those spider arms though, bro. Those spider arms.
I know that minor biological manipulation.
Wow, you're just gonna do my boy Ares like that? Wow.
What's he supposed to do against empathetic manipulation and time manipulation that can work on beings that exist outside of time? As well as what's he gonna do against a target he can't see and couldn't hit even if he could see? Not to mention in this scenario, she's been given she has Kratos' stats and she's been given the power of hope from Pandora's box. So she's in the same position he is, except now she has like her entire arsenal, or at least Bayo 1's arsenal. But hey, she's got Shiraba, Brazilians, Onyx Roses.
All right, but
she's got
but
more
hear me
than
out.
enough
But hear me out.
to beat him.
She doesn't have the sword.
The what?
She doesn't have the sword, Mangler. The sword that Kratos needed to beat Ares. She doesn't have it. So
we'll literally just argue if it comes down to it. She'll kick the dude. She's literally sure that she'll use rubble or anything in the environment to beat the fuck out of you if it looks stylish. As soon as she sees a sword over there, she's gonna be like, "Oh, that looks interesting," and then we'll kick it. And then she'll be like, "Man, this." She'll say some silly one-liner instead of saying, "It seems I have allies on Olympus," though that would be kind of funny for her to say that. And then she'll just stab Ares with it, along with any of her other weapons.
But what if Ares just BFRs her, and since he doesn't know her, he just leaves her in the BFR?
Leaves her in the BFR, and then she just reverse BFRs herself out.
Actually, I'm gonna bring something up. So Ares literally just ripped off Kratos' like blades. Can we just say that he just rips out Bayonetta's weapons too?
No.
Why not?
Because in that case, those blades were given to him specifically by Ares. So Ares has power over the Blades of Chaos in that regard.
Is that what's stated in the novel?
Well, no. So it's like it's never explained why. It's just like the problem is that the Blades of Chaos were made for him by Ares specifically. Like they were tied and bonded to his skin by Ares.
I understand that, but this is the god of war, so you know maybe just maybe he can control weapons as well.
I mean, it wouldn't matter.
I think it would because I feel like that would include Bayonetta's hair, so she would be bald.
I mean, he could. No, he wouldn't be able to take her hair.
What?
He wouldn't be able to take her demons either.
What do you mean? Well, okay. To be fair, hear me out. Is her hair a weapon?
Yeah, but
well, sounds fair game to me.
In that way.
What do you mean not in that way?
Her hair is more of a medium, if anything. It's mainly used to
Damn, that sounds like a weapon to me. Fuck, I wish I could ask the chat right now. That sounds like a weapon.
Like the girl from JoJo.
Listen. I hear you, but counterpoint. Let's just say he disarms all her weapons, including her hair. What does she do now, huh? She can't use a sword. You ever seen her use a sword before?
Yeah. Actually, called She's literally fought people who have used a sword. She knows how a sword fucking works.
I don't know, bro. Like, if we remove all her shit and she just has like the sword and she's bald
She'll
against
just pick
Kratos.
up the sword the way that Kratos did.
Listen. Do you really think she can beat Ares in the sword fight? You know, without all her weapons and shit. Come on.
Still got witch snipes, still got purgatory snipes, still got everything.
Come on. Also,
I know. We took away all of her weapons, and she's still kicking his ass.
Come on, let's be reasonable here. Ares wouldn't let her go in the purgatory. Come on. Also,
Ares has a choice.
Also,
Ares is still reading from the fact. He's like, how did this mortal get their hands on Pandora's box?
Listen.
A woman at that.
If I recall correctly, Kratos resists time manipulation from the Amulet of Ouroboros. Therefore, Ares should resist it as well.
If only that would protect you from Bayo's witch time.
Which
for people that are out of time.
But does it really though? Listen.
It works in the Empire in Muspelheim, which is separated from the flow of time.
Fuck you. Okay. What was the other thing?
It even works on people that can break witch time.
Listen. Okay.
And better yet, with certain bracelets, it can be used on enemies
that are unaffected by witch
Well,
time.
to be fair, if we're gonna remove all her weapons, you can remove all her bracelets too. That's fine. We can get rid of those too. We can get rid of all of this.
The point is, he wouldn't have resistances to even the base version. He's not resisting. He's not resisting in Through Time X.
Listen, the only reason I'm gonna say Bayonetta wins this is because technically she still has bats within and shit. So even if he could resist the witch time, she would still have options.
Dude, what chance does he have to like hit her?
Have you
She
seen?
has the blade-
Have
she
you
still has
s-
the blade of gods.
have
She
you-
still has the weapon.
Have you seen all those swords on his back?
My God! All he does is like one spin attack, a couple
hear me
fireballs.
out.
He's
Hear me
literally
out.
like a shitty Mortal Kombat character.
Listen. Well, hey, hang on a minute. Hear me out. He was gonna beat Zeus in a fight. Hear me out. You know. What does Zeus have?
He's like come out of that. I can't remember what he says. He basically makes a claim to Zeus when he's crossing the Egyptian desert, and he's like, "Hey, come out from behind Athena's like skirt and fight me like you mean it or something." He says something to the effect. He basically eggs him on completely. He's just like, "Hey, come down here and actually fight me if you're the king of the gods."
Well, listen, that just sounds like, you know, maybe he could hit Bayonetta. You know, that's
And then it's established in the next paragraph that he's insane. Directly stated.
Nah, bro, nah. Pixar didn't happen.
Oh, I got picks for this, but you know how the protagonist swap formats work.
Yes, I understand that. I understand that. Okay, but what about the fireball? Okay, okay.
Like,
Okay, well, no, all right, fine. I guess Ares, after a hard-fought, very close, intense battle, loses the fight to Bayonetta,
this crazy hair fiend.
who beats him while bald.
No, he's literally gonna be like, "What are you, some kind of witch?" She'll be like, "That's a little on the nose, don't you think?"
All right. And then Bayonetta takes her rightful place as the god of war because Athena is like, "Oh, I need you to do something else for me before I can send you back."
And she's like, "No, just kill me."
And then we have finished God of War 1. Bayonetta has successfully made it through with one death. And that's about it.
Yep. Thank you guys for joining us. We will have, I believe, next protagonist swap. We will be doing. We finally will free Dante from Nintendo's Wi-Fi and allow him to spawn into Bayonetta 1's world and
Yes.
begin his protagonist swap there.
At long last, we can finally put him in a universe that might actually be able to. We can put him in another universe. Is the point I'm trying to get at.
He finally ordered his Ethernet cable so he can leave the lobby.
Beautiful.
Fucking loser.
Hey, don't. It's not his fault. Nintendo's connection is trash.
It's his fault he has no money.
Wow. All right. So with that said, ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys for your time as always. Have a nice day. I'll see you guys on the next stream or video. Take care, everybody.